Hey, did you know that making changes in your life can be a lot like falling into a pothole? Let me explain. I'm Denise, so thank you for joining in. When we want to make changes, there's various stages that we go through, and we might not always be aware of those stages and not have that awareness and that knowledge of how to do it. The other thing is that making changes isn't a linear thing. It's not like I take step one, step two, step three, and boom, it's changed. We might do step one, go to step two, go step three, go back to step two, so there can be that jig-jagging along. And that's just part of how life is. So I'm going to explain this, and I'm going to use cracking knuckles as my example. So let's say that you're a knuckle cracker, and you've gotten to the point where you just crack your knuckles when you're tense or stressed, and you're not even aware of it. Okay, and someone brings it to your attention, like, did you know this? And they're like, it can kind of be annoying, especially in a meeting, if you're cracking your knuckles, and you're like, oh, okay, maybe I want to work on that. So that's a lot like walking down the street, and all of a sudden you fall into a pothole, and you're like, I didn't even know that pothole was here. Okay, so you didn't even know cracking knuckles that you were doing that, and that it might be annoying or bothersome during a meeting. All right, so that's that first step. That's that gaining that awareness. So now you know that you crack your knuckles when you're getting stressed, but you're not always aware that it's happening. So you could be in that meeting and you could be cracking your knuckles and you go, oh darn, I was gonna work on not doing that. So you're walking down that street again, and you're like, I know this pothole's coming up, but I'm not sure where it's at. And then you fall into the pothole. All right, so you now have that awareness, but you don't yet have the knowledge or the skill set to prevent yourself from actually following through and cracking your knuckles. So then step 3 is, I'm walking down this street and I know there's a pothole, so I'm going to walk clear across on the other side of the street and go around it. Now that example could be you're in a meeting, it's getting a little heated, you're getting a little tense, and you make sure you're holding a pen or you have your hands on the table the whole meeting so that you know that you're not going to crack your knuckles. Okay, so you've gained that awareness. Now this could also be where that meeting you did great, but the next meeting you forget again and you crack your knuckles. You're like, I know there's potholes coming up, I'm going to fall into it. Right? So it's you kind of go back and forth. It's kind of this dance that you're doing. And then what's really great is let's say you find something that works better for you than cracking your knuckles. Whether it's you do a breathing technique, or you have a buddy in the meeting that will kind of give you a look so that you can know that, okay, calm down. You don't need to be cracking knuckles here. Or you get to the point where you learn that keeping your hands not together, right? So you don't crack your knuckles, keeping them on the table or taking notes during the meeting helps prevent you from doing this. So you've been able to get to the point where you've incorporated something brand new and cracking knuckles isn't a problem. And that would be when you're walking down a street, you don't take that same street. You take a whole nother street so you avoid that pothole altogether. So I hope this made sense. It's an analogy that I used a lot when I was working as a therapist because that change can be really hard to do. And we get really frustrated with ourselves when we make those same mistakes or when we make that mistake and you're like, dang, I forgot about this. And that's all part of learning something new. We have to learn a new skill set. We have to have a new behavior so that we can learn not to do the old one. I'd love to hear your thoughts. I'd love to hear if this makes sense. If it's confusing, let me know too. And I hope you have a great day and good luck with whatever changes it is that you're working on making. Bye-bye.